are here with Angela Posillico with our interview with us-lanka. And we are so happy to have you, Angela. And I know Angela is a CEO of Mrs. International, Mrs. Latina International, and as well as Miss World International. And, you know, she has been producing pageants for, I think, more than 20 years and has been a mentor to many models as well as up and coming models, and been a great influence in this industry. And also Angela has, she hosted our us-lanka fashion show in New York in 2017 and always been supportive of what we do. So Angela, so good to have you. And Angela, let me first ask you now, with everything that's going on with this COVID-19 and everything, and all these new restrictions and regulations and everything,
right?
What do you think about the fashion industry, where it stands and where it can go? I mean,
well, first of all, I want to thank you for having me on today. It's always an honor and a pleasure to work with you, Chitral, and especially, you know, everybody from Sri Lanka. It's always a pleasure. And that's a very good question. You know, with the fashion industry, I've noticed that a lot of the big fashion organizations are doing a lot online right now. You take, for instance, Miami International Fashion Week, which a lot of people don't know, which is owned and operated now by Antonio Banderas, with the help of Univision and Telemundo. He did his entire fashion week online. He went virtual. It was very interesting because they were able to do a lot of one-on-ones. A lot of designers were able to participate to say about the new fashions they had coming out, showing some of the things that they were doing. Of course, it's never going to be like a live show, you know, when you've got a live audience there, you know, and you're really getting that, the energy from the audience. But, you know, again, if you've got the right combination and right people will listen, you'd be surprised. I went in on that on Miami Fashion Week, and you'd be surprised the energy that was really coming in. So I think if you put it together, if you've got the right people, the right designers. I mean, I've even seen shows where they brought entertainers in from their home. So I think what's happening with the fashion industry is they're trying to create the same enthusiasm and the same energy going online and doing it virtually as they have been doing it at the live shows. So I think right now the fashion industry is headed that way. I did see that London Fashion Week did do a smaller show. They were able to do something where they were able to do, you know, the social distancing. Paris Fashion Week so far is going to go virtual. So I think for the next maybe several months or, you know, maybe the next year, this is the way the fashion industry is going to go. But it's not going to kill it. It's really going to bring it to the forefront.
Okay. So on that same note, I mean, I know you had to change plans for the Mrs. World International, your pageant, been doing this for so many years. And then, so what would happen with your pageant? It's happening next year or?
Well, we've put the pageant out to February the 19th through the 21st back on Bahama Paradise Cruise Line. I mean, with all the things that I've been listening to this week, especially a lot of the scientists and the doctors, and of course, the main focus, Dr. Fauci, he's been saying that there should be a vaccine somewhere either early 2021 or middle 2021. So we're hoping, we're moving very fast. I mean, a lot of the big medical companies are getting in the fight. I mean, you've got Pfizer, you've got Moderna, you've got AstraZeneca. They're moving very fast on the vaccine. And so far in clinical trials, they have seen people that have not had many bad after effects and that they're starting to produce antibodies along with T cells. Now, how long antibodies will last, they don't know. It's not like the flu shot that's so perfected. It will last you a whole year. But hopefully that, you know, we'll have that. And then hopefully, as I was reading yesterday, is when enough people get infected, we may get herd immunity. And if we do, then that virus is going to go down the nil and it just will bounce off of people. So I'm hoping by February that the infection rate will be down to maybe like 4 or 5% where the flu is. We still may have to wear a mask, but at least we'll be able to go out amongst it more comfortably than we're able to do now. But it's still a wait and see game. I think the next couple of months will tell where we are. If not, I'll have to go virtual like everybody else. We'll do the best we can, but hopefully we won't have to do that. But we are set to go back live February the 19th.
Right. And let me just go back to this, our fashion show that we did in New York together. I know it is the first fashion show for us, and it's more like a learning experience for us as well. And then you've been there supporting and helping and guiding us, so that was very good. I mean, when you think about all that, and I know some even models got a break to a certain extent in with some of the modeling agencies that came there and all that. So talking about this shows like what we did in us-lanka fashion show, what do you think about, I mean, maybe if you say, for example, if you want to have another show, you think, because the reason I'm asking is, in many ways, it's a big challenge. It's not easy. I mean, always, sometimes finding sponsors and all that is always a big challenge. So in your view, why we should do this kind of programs, really?
Well, I mean, for your first show, it was, I personally, I've been to so many fashion shows. I thought it was absolutely amazing. You did a spectacular job. The designers were great. There were a lot of modeling agencies that attended, magazine people. Since we personally, and if Susmita was here, she would tell you, when we did that show, we got so much exposure and so much notoriety. We had designers, magazine people, agencies that were just constantly calling us, calling the girls. Some of it we got, which was, for exposure, but there were some paid jobs that came out of that as well, too. So I think it was absolutely fantastic. You had a good crowd. The designers were just amazing, and they worked with the girls. And I think the next time you do this, I think it's going to be bigger and better. As I've said to you, with the Global Trade Chamber, we do 100 Successful Women in Business. That might be a platform for you to bring a lot of designers, because we have over 1,000 people from around the United States and the world attended that show. We were supposed to do one this year in March, but of course with the pandemic, we couldn't do that. They are looking to possibly do September, but that's still up in the air. But I know next September, they're going to be doing a very big show. So this would give you almost a year and a half to plan something. And even if you did something not at that show, but did something again where you just called it, Lanka Fashion Week. I personally have gotten involved with Supermodels Unlimited magazine. I've gotten involved with Platform magazine. So I think there'd be a lot of ways to be very creative and even bring more sponsors in, because let's put it this way, once this pandemic is over, the industry, I think, is going to just break wide open. What's going to happen is people are going to want to get back to fashion shows. They're going to want to look for different things. Models are going to want to get back in there. And what might be in your favor, a lot of models that haven't been working right now, they just want to get in there for the exposure to say, hey, I'm back on the runway again. Look at this, and I'm doing something different. So I think that for yourself and for the entire fashion industry, this is going to be a big plus. Everybody's been kind of hunkered down and everybody's looking to get back there. And I think you'll probably get sponsors as well, because the industry is just going to want to break right open.
Right. If somebody, especially say, models who want to go international, like, get into that international level, who's probably listening, maybe from another country or maybe from Sri Lanka, what would you tell to them? I mean, some of the things, how they should move forward in pursuing their dreams. What can you tell?
Good question. And it's funny because I was going to mention that. I would say right now, what they should be doing is constantly post pictures of themselves, even if they do a video in their home showing they're walking. Don't stop promoting. Even if they have old pictures, even if they show pictures like from your fashion show last year, Keep showing those videos, keep showing the pictures, because at least there are agencies out there that are looking. A lot of agencies will do things virtually right now. And this is a great way for them to get exposure, keep themselves going. I mean, there's a lot of major pageants that are going virtual this year. I know Miss America may be doing it. No word on Miss Universe where they're going, but they must keep themselves going. If they're able to do a photo shoot, or it's them and a photographer, they can do something that's current and they can social distance, highly recommended. Don't stop believing in your dream, because this isn't the end all. This is not going to last forever. You know, we're in this situation now, we're all in this together, but I'm very confident that we may be coming to a plateau, to a peak. So for any model out there, keep doing what you're doing, get online, use the social media. That is the biggest tool you have right now. Don't give up, and you'd be surprised at people that are going to take notice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, Angela, what are the? I know you're planning to have this Miss World International soon. I mean, at this early next year. Other than that, what are the other plans? Are there any new projects that you are working on right now, or at least in coming months?
Some new projects that we have going on is on the Latina side. I've been involved with Tito Puente Jr., who they are doing a movie on his dad, which is about the life of the great Tito Puente, and it's actually being produced by actor James Olmos. So I'm part of that plan. But also we're working with a lot of different magazines for Miss International World, Supermodels Unlimited. We have Gelia going in there. She is gracing the cover of that. Doing a lot of FaceTimes with Intermodello magazine. That's something that we're going to be doing. So that's how we're actually keeping the girls going. These are the projects that we're working on until such time we can get back out there and, you know, do a lot of the events that we have lined up. We had so much lined up. In fact, this would have been the weekend that we would have been doing the pageant. Yeah, today would have been the final day. So I'm so glad to be here with you, because I feel like I'm hosting the pageant, which is great. So, but those are the projects that we're working on. And of course, this year, I should say next year coming up, we're trying to produce a much bigger star-studded show. We are trying to get the main dancers from Dancing with the Stars to be part of the show. And if we can do that, that's going to go worldwide. So those are the upcoming projects. And of course, working with you is always one of our main focus and projects. So we hope to do a lot more.
You're talking with the Dancing with the Stars. I know you met this guy, what's his name?
Oh, Maxim Shirkovsky. I had the great pleasure of taking some lessons with him. Oh. He owns his him and his brother own a dance studio here called Dance With Me. Oh. And I was very lucky to go in there and take a few lessons with him. They also did a grand opening, which I was able to bring the girls, and we posted the pictures. And then for 12 weeks during the pandemic, him and his wife gave live online exercise classes, which I joined in. I was like, they did it like 3 times a week for 12 weeks. I think I took every class. I missed one. That was it. But they've been absolutely great. They did a great job empowering people because, you know, so many people were down during that lockdown. You know, people couldn't go out. They couldn't go to the beach. They couldn't go to their favorite restaurant. And, you know, I think what was the roughest part, you know, you put the news on, and like New York, you were hearing 800 to 1,000 people a day just passing away from this virus. So people were just getting to the point where they needed to have something. And this was great, you know, to work with a couple of world-renowned dancers, get online, get uplifting. And, you know, after every exercise class, they would say, now set your goals for the next class. You know, try to maybe only watch the news twice a day, but try to set your goals high. And I'll tell you, it worked for me. You know, I came out of that depression real fast. And I think now going forward, I could tackle a lot more than I could maybe a few months ago.
Okay. You know, I know many has this question, especially people who are in the modeling industry, who are also thinking of getting into the industry, that how can we say if somebody wants to even come to US, how can we join with or sign in with a modeling modeling agency, or how can we get a some shoot with a magazine, or get a cover shoot, or any suggestions, any
Well, there's a lot of modeling agencies out there. What a lot of models can do is they can tag a lot of different model agencies. They could come to me. I could send you a list. If they have recent pictures, we can always send them to the modeling agencies, send them to the magazines, and you'd be surprised. Now, there are some magazines out there that will charge for you to be in there. Some magazines do it for free. It all depends where you want to take your career and where you want to invest in yourself. Sometimes you have to invest a little bit to go to the next level. But that's why the power of the social media is so great, because when I get on Instagram, I must tag about 5 or 6 different modeling agencies. Some may not come in, but the more you keep tagging, the more they see, the more they'll say, hey, let's see if we could collaborate. Of course, you always have to be careful. If a modeling agency is going to say, well, there's a fee, that's when you walk away. Basically, if they can find you a job, that's when they take their fee out of that. We just ran a contest, which was unbelievable, called People's Choice Award with Pageant Planet. Mm-hmm. Now, it's almost over. I think we're in the final hour. The race to the top has been unbelievable. And the top 5 have done an amazing job. And the way that worked was that family and friends could go in. It was $1 a vote. The more money you raised, the more money you could get. If you want to use it towards a scholarship program, you want to use it towards modeling. As a matter of fact, our supermodel, Ariel, the last time I looked, she's got almost 900 points. That's like $900. So what they'll do is online, Pageant Planet just takes a $75 setup fee, but whatever else these girls raised, they're going to be able to get. So this is another way of exposure, because Pageant Planet will put them on their site saying this is one of the People's Choice Awards. They get a plaque. They're also going to be on a radio station. They're going to get on Florida National News, so they'll have their own video as far as television. They're going to get written up in several magazines. So that's another way to get the exposure out.
Good. I think these are all very important suggestions and advice. And
exactly.
I'm glad we had this conversation. And Angela, it's always a pleasure to talk with you. And always you've been very inspiring to many of us in our work. And I know you have a very... you like Sri Lanka or Sri Lankans.
Love it.
So that's always a good thing. And so we look forward to working with you in the future. And
yes.
So again, and maybe we'll have another conversation later on and a similar issue because there's so much to talk about fashion industry.
Yes.
Although it's kind of on hold right now. But hopefully, as you said, it'll start blooming as soon as we get all these restrictions lifted.
Exactly, it's on hold, but it's it is and it isn't. Like I said, if the models just keep pictures, keep using the social media. I'm like when you put up about the video of Lanka Fashion Week. That was great. We shared it, great memories. A lot of girls came in. I mean, that's, keep sharing things like that. The girls see that, they'll say, oh my God, I want to get back involved with this. I mean, anything you can do, any videos, any of the girls have them put videos on, I'll share it. Susmita will share it. We'll get it to people in the industry. Any of the designers that send them our way. We'll be more than happy to create something and keep it going.
Yeah, one last thing, now that you mentioned about designers, I know there are many designers and they want to enter the international market, but sometimes they are not sure whether, how can they do it and how to, do this properly, because sometimes, always there's a budget that you have to think about.
Right, exactly. A lot of with designers, that's very true. That's why what you did was so important to the industry, because you take London Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, unless you're a Valentino and you've got that $10,000 to put up, it's very expensive to go into those shows. There's a fee. Then you have to have airfare. You've got to have hotel. There's food, and that that can be very disappointing to an up and coming designer. So this, like I say, this would be great to do right now. Do something virtually because it doesn't cost anything to do anything virtually. And not only that, what you did was great. And if we could work on something again where we can get some sponsors, and I think we can, this would pay for a lot of designers to come there, more ticket sales, maybe pay the models, maybe get, have ticket sales where you make money, the designers make money. So I think there's a lot of great potential going forward to showcase these designers, even if it is, virtually and online, because that's going to set the tone going forward, because it's going to show the industry, you know what, these people took the initiative in the middle of a pandemic, they're still continuing. And that's the key factor.
Great. I maybe I think we should start working on that.
Exactly.
That gives me some ideas about that. So again, Angela, thank you so much for being with us and having this conversation. And we'll have another conversation soon. And
that's great. Absolutely. Anytime. I'm always available.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Have a great one. My best to the family.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye.